Latinx spirituality. ¿Cómo que?
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's Lant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
Paulie, let's go.
Paulie back here on the slant. How y'all doing? Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Consider becoming a member and make sure that you comment on this video. I want some nice stories in your comments, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, growing up as a kid, I heard stories of my great aunt taking the long strands of my hair after I got my first haircut. I had grown my hair till I was about, I don't know, let's say 5. It was very long, past my shoulders. And putting it in a jar, saying a prayer, and keeping it in, believe her room or, one of her adjacent rooms as a protective measure for me in my life. We've all have those tias, those family members that are very spiritual, and they have a connection to our ancestors. They have a connection maybe to curandismo, to just these pre-Columbian. I wouldn't say superstitions, but I would definitely say practices that still not only ring true today, but you're finding more and more holistic people, whether they are Latino, black, or white, going back to them because there's a lot of truth in there. Whether it's a Olympia cleansing, burning sage in the house, keeping an altar in remembrance of our loved ones, cracking an egg on the head, on our forehead to rid the spirits, or having Tibetan flags in front of our house. These are all spiritual practices that predate a lot of Christian practices as well. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, there's a few reasons why. And I'd like to know some of your stories as far as legends, tales of your family and their members, maybe some that are more in tune with the supernatural, some that are more in tune with their spirituality, with God, with whatever that practice is, Zen Buddhism, Sufi, and Kabbalah. I think they're all fascinating, and I think they all work for those people that choose so. I have my own spiritual and practical belief. I have my own spiritual beliefs that I practice on a practical daily, with my sobriety and with my 12-step program. Now, why are you bringing this up, Paul? How is this important to this video? Well, let me tell you that that great aunt who lived well beyond the diagnosis of her cancer, I would say an extra 12 years just on pure holistic remedies from Mexico and from her past. Her strength rings in a lot of families. We all have those great tias that you hear those stories and we get those remedies. I know that there's a whole Aztec holistic movement going on as well that I am really intrigued by, whether it's herbs that kind of improve your immune and gut to your joints. I'm all for that, especially as a fitness practitioner. Now, I recently got tagged on Twitter by the great Undoomed, and let's share this right now to see what exactly is going on. Undoomed, tag me, they're at it again. Okay. And then I see that it got liked, and let me in fact like it as well. And thank you to the great Undoomed for covering this. Using Latinx is kind of like misgendering someone and telling them they can't speak their own language. At the same time, nice going progressives. Now, we have many videos on Latinx, but here, from Pop Sugar, the headline states Disney's Encanto is a first step in normalizing Latinx spirituality in mainstream films. Okay. Huge, huge problems with this. One, it's Disney. I don't need Disney to normalize, denormalize anything that has to do with my culture. Disney, hands off my ancestors, as I've said before. Now, I'm realistic. They want to make a buck. They're going to, make their IPs like Coco and Encanto as colorful as possible with nice messages. I'm all for that. I don't care. More, and if it means hiring Latino entertainers, musicians, actors, voice actors, animators, right on. Now, I don't need my spirituality to be labeled with the X or normalized for anyone because they've been normal. Spiritual practices have been going on since we, yes, started fire, since we walked out of the cave. Those practices are still with us. We still burn shit. Like a fire, a campfire. We go to the campfire as a family and tell stories. We burn, we mourn together. For heaven's sakes, I have a living altar every day to my past loved ones. Those are my sagradas. So I don't need a billion-dollar company to normalize it to the mainstream audience for me. Muchísimas gracias, pero no. And I definitely don't need it guised in skin color, hair texture, gender, male, female, as is in this article. And this article really is about the cosmetics of our culture, right? How, again, representation matters. Spirituality goes beyond all of this. All of this. My spirituality keeps me sane and sober every day. I don't look to Disney to keep me sober. Now, I go back to my great aunt, who was tough love. Tough love. Amazing lady. Lived beyond her years after her cancer diagnosis. You think she would care about what any Disney or any of that would normalize her, or, the remedies and the things that she did? The things that she did and how she cooked and how she cleaned, those are cottage industries now, started by gringos. Who am I to judge? Now, I want to hear your family stories, people. Put it in the comments. What can you uniquely tell us about your family spirituality that goes beyond gender and labels and all that stuff and all the trifling stuff that we are so divided over right now? What can you tell me that can elevate this conversation beyond a Disney movie or a uh, article from a website or a Twitter or a tweet or a post? For heaven's sakes, this is our spirituality we're talking about, right? Sagradas, those traditions, we practice them every day. If we don't, we lose something. It's a connection. And like I said, whether it's Olympia or going to um, a sweat lodge or practicing ayahuasca, or for those people that practice their spiritual beliefs with marijuana, that's fantastic. I cannot partake in those because of my uh, sobriety program. I don't have the dubious luxury of other men to do that, but that's all right. But I can tell you, I do not want a Disney movie to normalize my spirituality. Thank you very much. And for those people that let's say that I encounter that want to know about my spirituality or about my culture, I will break bread. That's what the Latino slang is all about. We break bread with people who are not Latino. So I want to thank the great Undoomed for connecting me um, to this story. I find it very odd. I did read it. I have not seen Encanto, and I think these are two separate issues. I look forward to seeing Encanto. I'll do a review on it coming soon. But first steps in normalizing Latinx spirituality in mainstream films. It's you got one, you got two, you got three, you got four, you got five issues there that just go against each other. None of that sentence makes sense. Your spirituality is already normal. And it goes beyond being a Latino or being black or being white. And it's beyond mainstream. And you can best believe it's not on the celluloid film. All right, everyone. I would love to hear your stories. Wherever you are, keep your slant muy fuerte. Paz y dale gas. Leave me those comments. I want to know what brujerias, what curanderos are in your familia. Paz.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's Lamb.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know.